Good morning from Dunsmore Moving Dirt. Glad y'all got to join us today. I cleaned the tank up yesterday evening before I quit, just in case it rained. Picked up all the loose dirt. If you got a chance of rain, you don't want 6 inches or so of loose dirt in here and it rain overnight and soak into that because you got mud the next morning. But I knew down in the bottom of that pit about 10 foot deep there was a little water coming in, but you can see this morning there's just a little bit of seep water here come in overnight. I'm probably 7 foot deep, I guess, into this hill here. There's natural ground where that stake is up there, so that's not much for probably running all night long. It may get a little bit more than that, but I'm gonna rip it up. Got another chance of rain maybe this afternoon, pretty good chance. I'm gonna rip it up and go down as far as I can and then kind of watch, and if it looks like it's going to rain, I'm going to clear it up, clean it up, even though I got a dike built around it that'll keep anything from running in. Once you get a hole this big opened up, if it was to rain an inch, there's a lot of water that runs off the slopes and everything. It adds up when it gets to the bottom. But anyway, that's what we're going to do doing this morning. I'm going to rip it up, and then I'll set the camera up and let you see some of that. Okay, I just got it all cleaned up, got all the loose dirt out of the bottom. I took some elevation shots in my bottom and measured it. I hadn't shot the benchmark yet, so I don't know what I like. I'm going to think I'm probably 10 foot deep, but wanted to really get it cleaned up. There's some heavy rain out west, and if I was a betting man, I'd bet it would have water in it when we come back out here, because it's either going to come from above or below. So this is that gray stuff that water was seeping out of, not this morning, but in my test hole. And there's part of my test hole right there. I don't know if I'm quite to the bottom of it or not, but it goes on that away. But now it had a little water in it, and I looked, and when I'd hit this gray stuff, it was kind of coming out of it in that pit. So couldn't miss it, but I got a pretty good chance that we're going to get rain from above tonight, heavy rain. So hopefully my dike holds and everything. That's funny how that gray stuff, you can kind of see how it just breaks up. And if everything's like everything else is, when you hit that stuff right there, that's moisture that's come through the soil and everything's been compressed over the years. So we'll just see, I guess, and hope for the best. Don't want to turn down the rain. I just don't want a full tank of water since I'm not finished with it. So it's not gonna, if it had 2 to 3 foot of water in it, just what fell, I don't know if it quite have that much water in it, but I can always pump it out. And since there's no loose dirt, there won't be no mud. Now the slopes, and I got them cleaned up pretty good. So I have before just pumped the water out of it and let the sun hit those slopes and dry them up, and you can go back to digging. So, but my water's got to hit this. If any water comes in from that field, it'll hit this dike right here, and it should go around that way and go between the topsoil and the dirt that I'm pushing out, and then go on and drain out of here. So if everything works as planned, that'll work. So we'll let y'all see what it looks like when we come back out here. Like I say, I'll either have to bring a pump or just fall in there and start digging. So thank you again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that and share it with all your friends and hit the like button. And until we get back out here on work on this thing, remember, keep your blade shining, your tracks clean. Bye. Good morning, James here with Nothing More Moving Dirt. We got down to the job site this morning up in Wilbarger County. I made some phone calls before I left, and it was raining at the house when I left, and they said it was raining down here, and it had not only rained this morning, it had rained Saturday, reports of 1 to 2 inches. So loaded up the Kubota. It was already on the trailer. I just hooked on the trailer, and I brought my water pump and hoses in case it's the worst scenario. I hope it's not. I built the block, but I got all the hoses and water pump. I made the bed bigger in the Kubota just when I unloaded it, so I could put everything in it, and got some water standing here and some up there, and was going to back up a little farther and got off to the side, and that's just nasty there. Trailer's a mess. The road coming in here, the last 200 foot was pretty good, but the first 1/4 mile was just sloshy and mud going everywhere. So we're fixing to load the Kubota up and go up there and see how bad it is. If my dike held, the only water that's in it is what fell on the inside just from the rain. If it did that, it's probably not even enough to pump, but I'm going to go ahead and load everything up. That way I don't have to come back down here. So I made the bed bigger and everything so it'll hold it all. So I guess it's going to be a surprise to me and you both when I get up there and see what this thing looks like. So we're going to finish getting everything loaded up. It's kind of hot and humid right now. The wind's not blowing a bit. There's not a charger turning nowhere. So got some mosquito spray in case I get the mosquitoes stirred up when I get up there. So we'll let you see what it's like when we get up there, and Hope it's not as bad as it could be, but you never can tell. I'm due one good water tank pumping, you know. So far it's been a while since I pumped one. I got a bigger water pump, but I didn't want to bring it because this, if the water's pretty shallow, it sucks air pretty easy, and was wanting another discharge hose a little bit longer, and stopped at 2 places this morning. No one had one, or they had some on order, which that don't do me no good today. So anyway, we'll get up there and see what it looks like and let y'all see it also, then we'll just go from there. Okay, I am loaded up, and there's probably something that I forgot to take, but got water and got the lunchbox, so that's a pretty good start. So we're fixing to head up the hill to the tank. That's kind of odd saying that. Usually go downhill to the tank. We're going uphill to the tank, but let's see what it looks like. Stretch through here is pretty good because they got to get to them wind chargers. You get up there to the top of that hill and it's a different story. all been waiting for. I don't know if them are hog tracks or, yeah, fat as they are. I hope he's not laying down in here because I can't run in this mud. So looks like everything went around the dike. Like I say, that's good. I was beginning to wonder. I see a little water. Man. Oh. See, here's where all that water, there's a ditch running all the way up out of that field, and that's a big waterway. All that drains down here and hits, and everything comes around here. So my dike held. That's the best news. I just didn't know what to expect because I don't know how much it rained either. If it just rained 1.5 inches, that's nothing hitting that. So, and all that come around the dozer and come in and come behind the, what water fell between the spoil and the topsoil come down this way. So there might have been more water run out of this than there was coming out of that field up there, which this stuff right here just runs water when it gets wet. It's just, so I got my mud boots on too. I didn't forget those. That's not a whole lot of water, but if my hoses will reach, I wouldn't mind getting that out of there. The bottom's hard. I ain't worried about that. What I'd need to do would be to dig a little sump hole down here. And yeah, that would. I could sit that hose right there in that little divvy and it wouldn't hurt to get some of that out of there because the slopes are going to be wet. As long as they don't put water back in it tonight again. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll try to get everything over here and unloaded and get it in the hole. And I just got to have enough hose to get up over this dike here. I might have. All I got to do is dump it right over here, and it'll either stand right there or going around the dam. So if I can drive down this, that may be harder than that dadgum field over. Yeah, that's pretty hard there. Pull up here and back up right on that berm there. So that sounds like a plan. We'll try that and see what happens. Okay, got the water down to where it's starting to suck air, so I think I'm going to go over and get the bulldozer and get over and start crowding some of that and push all that water over here, and then I can start drying some of that up while it's pumping the rest of that water out. So when I get the dozer and get it back over here, I'll set the camera up on time lapse and let y'all watch as I'm crowding that water, moving water with the bulldozer over here next to that pump where the that didn't take long. Yep. Just went to sucking air. That looked like chocolate milk coming out the other end of that. So. That's all I'm going to get out of it. That's all there is. That shows you what kind of soil that is. That thing had 1.5 feet of water standing on it, and it wasn't down in the ground 1/2 inch. I mean, that's dry dirt behind there. So that little bit there, that skim's what I pushed up here, and so it's going to hold water good. Like I say, it didn't go down in the soil 1/2 inch after it's was standing since Saturday, so for 2 days. Which that's what you want. If it rains, you want one cleaned up. Now right here where them ruts are with that dozer, that's that pit, my test pit that I dug. So I think I'm through it in the middle, but that's going to, right there where them ruts are, that may be a little soft right there where that pit was. So I'll move that pump. Man, them slopes, one pass and they're dry. I mean, that's, and I mean, this is dry ground here. That's where I was at when I cleaned it up. So that's going to work out all right, despite having a foot or so water in it this morning. So I think I'll finish cleaning up them, and then I'm going to get this where I skimmed this off and pushed it up there. I'm going to get up there and get that out of here right now. Then I may rip this up and then clean it up once, just in case it comes another rain tonight. At least it'll have come off. looks a little bit different than it did when we first got here this morning. At least it's dry instead of full of water. So got it all cleaned up pretty good and got it leveled back up and cleaned the bottom up a little bit, and all the mud's out, the water's out. So if it don't rain tonight, we'll be out here in the morning, and I may can get my depth tomorrow. I don't know yet. I like 6 foot, and I don't think I went down 2 foot. It's about 4 foot, and the bottom's about all you can get in one day, and that's getting it pretty good. So we'll see. I might get my depth tomorrow about this time, so we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. It's kind of clouded up. A few little old clouds popped up, but nothing much. It shows about after 7 o'clock it's all gone. So anyway, we're going to take the Kubota up there and load it up and call it a day. So again, thank you for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that and help this channel grow, and like the feedback and the comments that you send, and hit the like button and share it with all your friends. So till tomorrow, this is James with Dunsmore Moving Dirt. Keep your blade shining, your tracks clean. Bye. Thanks for watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're still on the tank that we was on yesterday after pumping the water. Got all the water out yesterday before we left, and then I've been digging this morning on it, and it's probably 2 o'clock right now. I like about 2 foot. I just set up the level and took elevation shot, and I like 2 foot being down deep enough, so I'll just about get it for the day's out. It's still digging good, and I've got plenty of bottom to go that extra 2 foot. It's supposed to have a 38-foot diameter bottom in it when I get down to the depth. It's got 4-to-1 slopes anywhere around this 150-foot diameter. So when you start down the bottom, it's got to be a 4-to-1 slope, and if they're flatter than that, you run out of bottom, then you've got to start and peeling it all the way back. So I usually don't shoot it till I get down this low. I've done enough of them. I kind of know what the slopes feels like from sitting in the seat. So right now, 4-to-1 slopes. I got like 2 foot to go. That's 8 foot on both sides, so 2 times 8, 16. I've got to have 16 extra feet of bottom to be the 38 foot wide when I get down to depth. So that's what it is. That'd be 54 foot, and I'm about 55 to 56 foot, so I've got a little bit to spare. You don't ever want to dig them right on the line, because I mean, one little blip or bubble or something, whenever they start shooting it, if you're on the inside of their line that they got graphed out, you don't have enough dirt moved, you got to peel it back out. So you're just money ahead. Just go ahead and overbuild it just a little bit to make up for them little humps and bumps that's going to show up. So anyway, we're going to set it up on time lapse and let y'all see getting that extra 2 foot out of there, rest of the 2 foot, and see what it looks like after that. Check my depth. I like 1 foot, so I've gone down a foot. I guess you've seen on the video that I ripped it, and that's about all you get when you rip it, because as you rip it, that dirt comes up and it looks like you're ripping 3 foot in the ground, but you're usually just ripping about a foot. So I'm gonna rip it one more time and then just clean everything up, and that ought to be depth. I still got enough bottom to go down another foot and still have the 38-foot finished bottom in it. So that's got a little seep water in that this morning, which that's nothing. All I like's right around the edges, it's about 2/10 high. The center's about 2/10 too deep, so I think if I'll just I may just go right around that edge and rip lightly, and then just get in there and clean that wet stuff out, and I think that'll be good enough. And then I'll start cleaning up the ridges. I'll set up my camera here after a bit on time lapse when I get ready to clean it up. So first, after I get the bottom like I want it, I may shoot it, see what it looks like, and before that water gets back in there, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I just got through checking the benchmark. We're going to go down there and see if it's deep enough now. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just going to take a couple shots across the bottom, and then I can finish cleaning it up, and then we'll have to stretch out the tape measure and do a more close to close shot, a cross section of it, north and south, east and west. But this will tell us if I'm good enough to finish cleaning it up. So there we are. $17.8. That is a half a foot to the good. Okay, and go over here before it quits again. $17.9. $17.5. Did all the good that time. Okay. There's 25. $45. Plenty of bottom. 45 that away. What you do is usually just do a cross section, one east and west and north and south when you check them out, and that's usually good enough. There's 25. And 42 that away. That's good enough. Once you start cleaning it up, you can pretty well tell if you got a little old hump or bump in there that you can peel it out as you're cleaning it up. That dirt builds up a lot of times on that slope, and you run over it and it starts packing down. You think you're down on hard ground and you're on 6-7 inches of loose dirt packed down. So if you ever see a spot that don't quite look like it's round, that's usually a hump in there. Worked on some over there earlier. You just pretty well see if it slopes in continuous dirt. If you ever have a flat place in there where that thing ain't curving around, it's a hump in there. But right there looks a little funky, but maybe I can peel that out right there. It's right where that, anytime you have a station, I've pulled them all up except for the 4 stations where I want to do my cross section. And you go up there, you're pushing dirt up there, and you see that stake, well, you automatically turn one way or the other, and every time you do, you bite in a little bit with one corner, and you usually have a hump at every station where a flag is. But that's why after a while I usually just pull them up, rip it real good so it won't be a hump in the slope. But it's usually just right there in line with that flag. But this is always pretty easy to cut this backside because you're cutting downhill. You won't hardly ever get a hump back here in the slope unless it's so hard and you just ride over it, it won't bite in the ground. But where you're pushing your dirt uphill is where you always get a hump or something. So anyway, we're going to finish cleaning that thing up. Then we'll get the tape measure and get a little bit more serious when we take our shots. So we'll let you see some of that later. Okay, I got it all cleaned up. I was gonna set up my camera, but clouds coming, didn't want the thunder, and I could see it lightning. So I got it cross section. This row of flags going down is one cross section. That's going east and west, and I got the other cross section going north and south. Got the hole cleaned up. Got this block moved right here where the water can come in if it's going to rain, and I wanted to get that done. I don't have it topsoiled, but I can do that if the tank's full of water. So I think I'm just on the edge of this cloud, but you can't ever tell. So anyway, I got some figures in case it does fill up with water. We take them where they can swim out there and John boat and shoot it out. But there's the other cross section going north and south. Every place there's a tape is where I took a shot, elevation shot, measured the width across there. And according to all that, I mean, I don't know how many yards there is, but it's plenty big. There's plenty of yards of dirt out of that hole. So there's that cloud that's coming this way. So it just popped up all of a sudden, so I was gonna slick the rest of that dam off. Anyway, that's good for right now. He won't miss no water if it does fill up. I can still topsoil it if it fills up. So I think we're gonna go up there and call it a day. I'm on pretty good lightning conductor here, so you know, it's funny, you park this dozer, I parked it on top of hills in the middle of thunderstorms, and as far as I know, it's never been struck by lightning, so that tells you can pretty well sit in it, but I just can't sit in it when it's crackling and popping lightning. Your hair stands up on your back of your neck, so that's a little too close sometimes. So anyway, I don't want to press my luck. See that little bit of water coming in already down there. So if it don't rain, it'll have just about as much water in there now as it did this morning, or will in the morning as it did this morning. So anyway, the top of the flag line, that's the top of the water. Then everything else is, you don't have to shoot your dam or your spoil when you check it out. You just check out what you excavated out of the hole. So that's why you stop. That's average ground where the flag, where I started and stopped measuring. So that's the only thing they care about, is what the hole itself that you dug out. So. We'll get it topsoiled tomorrow if it's not raining. If it is, we may have to wait a day to topsoil it. I hope it don't rain on that topsoil no more. It's been hitting it and soaking underneath it. Before you start cutting it, trying to push it up the back of that dam, you just start spinning. So. Okay, well, I'm going to try to get over and get out of this field before it starts raining. Come back in the morning and see what it did. So thank y'all for watching this channel again. If you hadn't subscribed, we should do that. Help this channel grow. Enjoy your comments and your feedback on everything. And be sure and hit the like button. Share it with all your friends. Until we get back out on the tank, remember, keep your blade shiny and your tracks clean. Bye. Welcome back to Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're back out on the tank this morning. It was too wet yesterday to finish it up. Last video we got all the block took out, got it shot out. This morning we're going to finish shaping up the dam and starting to put that topsoil back on there and get this thing finished up. And it didn't rain enough yesterday to run any water. It just rained enough just to make everything sticky again. So but it dried up a little bit yesterday, and there's a little bit more water in the bottom. Like I say, that's just seep water coming in, and you can pretty well see the dark line right underneath that gray stuff. Now that's where it's coming in from there down. Like I say, that won't hurt a thing. It holds water like a jug. So that's just a little bit of seep water coming in from that layer of soil there below that gray stuff. But it's all good clay material. So anyway, we'll let y'all see this after we get it all topsoiled and everything looking pretty. So thanks again for watching. Bye. Okay, just got the topsoil and the dam slope back, and all the topsoil put on it, and I guess it's officially done. Well, maybe not officially done. It won't be officially done till they inspect it Monday, but I'm through with it. So, and we'll probably be through with it Monday too when they look at it. So anyway, everything topsoiled out real good. Got the back slope down. As wet as that topsoil was, it was sure tight putting it up here. I had to make one pass on top of it and then rip it a couple times. It just packed down because it was so wet. But the topsoil's good. And that's the difference. There's one over there you see on top of the hill. Now that was the red dirt like we dug out of this one, and that's what it looked like years later. And this one's going to look green like that grass coming up there here in another month or so if it keeps raining a little bit. But I don't know, it turned summertime today. It's 100 degrees and it's almost 5 o'clock. So far most of the day none of them charges was turning. Every now and then a little old gust of wind will come and some of them will turn just a little bit, but the majority of them is not turning. That means they are not making electricity. And I'm glad my air conditioner is going to work when I get home. Not depending on them. That's all I'm going to say, or I'll get in trouble. So, anyway, this thing is finished and hopefully ready for some more rain, but I don't know, we may be hitting the dry pattern again. We did have a little springtime for a change. It's usually winter and summer, but we did have a little springtime, and the combines are up in the area trying to get some of this wheat cut, and they'd cut a day, then they'd shower, they'd be off a day and cut a day, and they're kind of on a time schedule. They got to get up north, up into Oklahoma and Kansas, and this is usually their first stop unless they go all the way to South Texas. So they're on a limited schedule. When that wheat's up there ready to cut, they're going to be gone. So they're trying to get a lot. They was cutting some over here day before yesterday, but there's still a little bit. You'll see little patches that are either too green or the weeds are coming. So anyway, I'm going to try come back out here while they're checking this thing out. I hope that's a little bit of mud that I pushed out. I crowded some water out between the dam and the topsoil, pushed it over there, and all of that red looking down through there where the water is, that stuff was just like chocolate milk. And some of it I pumped out there, and that's why that's red, and you get down there and it's black again. So, but anyway, I'm going to try to just knock that top down on that where it looks a little bit better than that. But right now, that's all I could do with it. So I didn't want to get mud on my tracks again. I just got through cleaning them up. So anyway, so that's the tank. That's what it looks like after it's been topsoiled. So got to go look at one north of here to do that. Maybe Monday or Tuesday if I can get moved over. I don't know. It's got mud in it. I may try to get some of the mud out and maybe enlarge it. Hold a little bit more water. So I'm surprised the hogs hadn't found that little bit of water down there. But there may be some water in some other tanks. So the tank that the last video was showing, it's full, but the gate was locked. I went by there yesterday, couldn't get down to the tank. I could see it from the road, but it's plumb full of water. So I'll try to get a picture of that while I'm up in this area. Anyway, thanks again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that. And, oh, when I got the bandana on, you know it's hot because that's my sweat soaker upper. So anyway, thanks for watching, and hit the like button, and any comments or questions you got, send them. Try to get them answered. Till the next video, remember, keep your blade shiny and your tracks clean. Bye.